Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and let's continue the series with character power and how to boost the power most efficiently and what is actually gonna give you the ability to push through the most. So when you open any characters tab, let's start with the lower ones, right? First of all, blue characters. As you can see, blue characters only have 3 spells and they aren't really all that good, so we will never be using them. So when we go to the elite characters, well, this is this is an evolved promoted blue character. So when we go to the elite characters, we can basically see that they have multiple skills. They have 4 compared to the 3 ones. And then to unlock these skills, you basically need to level up your character further. So, as an example, if I go to one of my higher level characters, you can see he has unlocked a lot of these abilities, and some of them are still waiting for full unlockment on the specific levels 181, 201, and so on. Now, when we're talking about increasing your character's power, obviously leveling is really important, but I would say that the leveling doesn't give you as much stats as you would expect. What leveling really is very important for is actually unlocking additional levels of your skills. So, just to give you an example of my current setup, if I go into my level 1 character here, he has 600,000 K power, a little bit more than that. And then if I go to this one who is like 180, he doesn't have that much higher and he has some gear. So if I remove the gear from him, he's basically gonna be similar. So as you can see, levels are mainly important for increasing your levels of skills. And when we're talking about skills, you basically have the normal skill. This is with what you attack initially. They have different effects based on character. As you can see, this one basically heals himself, so it's pretty cool, like a life leech. Then he has this one which attacks the whole enemy column. I would like to say that the active skills are obviously the most important ones. For example, if I'm looking at her, Terrible Tornado Music Festival Edition, you can see that her attack actually hits all enemy characters, and I would say that the characters that are able to hit the whole team are probably the best ones to boost the most, at least initially in the game, so you can clear content very fast. So generally most of the guides do suggest going with the Terrible Tornado just because she hits all enemies and she has a high critical rate. This is a normal version. The one you're seeing here is a complete character version and she has been gained through the event. So in order to advance in the game fast, you should be keeping close attention to the events that are happening. The 7-day gift fund is obviously important. You get a lot of these summoning things happening, but you also have, for example, other important stuff I'm gonna show you in the recharge. You have this hero gift. So basically you're able to choose what hero you want and the shards you're going to be getting for that specific hero, and then you can just pay it basically every single day. I'm not saying you should pay it, I'm just saying you can do it if you want to speed some things up here. And this is a really cool place as well to get the complete characters, and I would say decently fast, because you get these shard boxes and then they drop a couple of shards. So if you're buying, I mean, if you buy the whole pack, you get what, around 28 packages, and then you can get, usually we'll get at least one character, but most likely we're gonna get 2 or 3 from it. So yeah, that's regarding that. Just want to show you that. Then obviously there is this thing here and the passes, but the biggest boost your character is the hero pass you're going to be getting, I guess, every 2 weeks. So, and you get these boosters here. I usually don't pay them, but they do give some good packages. Anyways, I'm sorry for going off the topic. To continue where we started, basically the levels aren't that important, but they do matter for the skill levels. So that's regarding that. Then gear, as you can see, gear isn't all that strong. I mean, I currently have legendary gear, and legendary gear is obviously something you're going to need some time to obtain. But any of my other characters, for example, you see her that has elite gear. She only has, like, on the left you can see how much power she's getting. She's getting only 5,000 power, which is really not that big. So gear isn't the best way to increase your character power. Now, obviously, you can also promote gear, but promotion of gear doesn't give you that much that much power. It's a small boost, so obviously keep the best gear equipped as possible, but don't count on it as a huge boost. It's usually a small boost for your characters. The limiter breakthroughs are the, I would say, almost the biggest power boost, because they give your character a lot of stats, as you can see on the left. So this character is getting 800,000 power just from the limiter breakthroughs, and then they also unlock additional bonus effects, as you can see here, and these bonus effects affect your whole team. So I would say that limiter breakthroughs might be the biggest thing to boost your whole team. So that's something you should definitely focus on when possible. And then chips. Now chips give really a lot of power, especially when you level up. You're going to be getting from quests a lot of good chips. These are mythical ones. You see how strong they are. For example, this one gives me 120,000 health, along with boosts on in the attributes as well. So chips are extremely powerful, and remember, as I said, to unlock all 4 slots you do need to promote your character. So chips are one of the main things where you get the power for your characters. The cool thing is you can basically swap them, every character can use them, so basically you can create from a very weak character to a very strong just by giving him the chips. Then chips are split into the element chips, which are these first 2, and the energy chips. Energy chips give some special effects, while elements only focus on the attributes. Well, we'll talk more about it later on, but that's just a quick guide. And then we can talk about talents. Now, talents are a weird thing because they don't really give you that much power, but they do give the effects. So each hero has a talent, and some of the effects can be really crazy. So, for example, to show you this one from Terrible Tornado Music Edition, she basically casts a shield on all characters, and nobody can basically die in the first round. They can only get reduced to, what is it? I think around 10% of her HP. And I mean, you can read the rest yourself to not waste your time. But yeah, these talents, at least the first rank, is very important. Obviously, as you progress, they start giving you more power. They give you some base attributes and stuff like that. But I think the main value is the effect itself rather than the power boost your character is gonna get. Then there is the Spirit Hall. To be honest, I haven't really unlocked Spirit Hall for any of my characters yet. This is gonna come a little bit later in the series once I do. So yeah, but this is not really that easy to unlock because you have to have a mythical 5-star character. So yeah, it does take a bit of time to get there. And then you have the Machine Core. Machine Core is pretty decent. I would say that just when starting the game. So when starting the game, you're gonna be getting gear fast. So that's the first thing you're gonna be using here to upgrade your character. Then you're gonna be having the Machine Core, Machine Core is pretty decent and does give good months of power. So that will be your second thing how you can boost your character's power, and in the early game it's gonna be really huge boost. So yeah, you're gonna start with gear, just equipping gear on your character. Then you're gonna basically start with the machine core upgrades, and as you promote your character further, you're gonna be equipping him with the chips. You're gonna be increasing its talent. Spirit Hall, once it receives mythical, that's probably the latest thing you're gonna be doing. And the limiter breakthrough is an amazing one, but this one is a little bit hard to get. Usually the most I got, you get them basically from these boxes here, but these boxes are either event specific or you need to pay some money. I think you get them here when you do the event, but this is only for the 4 type characters. This is not for the complete and old world, so it is a little bit hard. As you can see, I've gained these boxes from the events, and they do give the options to choose complete character ones, but the old world has its own specific boxes, and they are, I think, only event droppable. At least so far I haven't found any other ways, so as the series goes forward we're going to be talking about that. But yeah, so those are your main ways you're going to be upgrading characters. Limiter breakthrough, very important. You should most likely save the boxes for your hero that you want to be using as your main offensive hero. Maybe if you're starting with the just regular version of Terrible Tornado, you want to upgrade her. That's definitely something that's going to be strong. And remember, once you do it, you can't really reset this. So when you use the boxes, you've used them up, and that character has that power, kind of forever. So yeah, and when sacrificing heroes, make sure you don't sacrifice the actual strong hero for promotion that has the breakthroughs. So yeah, that's regarding that. Now, to talk more about the ways you can get power, there are, I guess, 2 more ways that are really good. Essence Laboratory. This unlocks as you pass the missions, and the more heroes you collect, you can upgrade this. And these stats affect every single character you have. The Surge Essence part, and you get these parts basically just by promoting characters, so you're not farming them any other way. And then you have this battery thingy, the Kernel Drive, which is for specific character types, and this is something you're going to be getting either from events, from the boxes, or even actually just by your regular passive hero walkthrough. But it does take a long time, and to achieve higher levels to start getting them. You also get a lot of things from the mall. You'll obviously explore this. You can see here I can buy it, and stuff like that. So the important thing here is this: the first one increases all your character stats, and then you have the specific ones which increase for specific characters, and then you also unlock some abilities for all of these characters. So this is a very strong way to increase your characters, and I think my first biggest and highest boost of power for my whole team was from the Essence Laboratory. So yeah, you need to unlock Story Mode Chapter 9 to be able to use it, I believe. So no, it's for the 5 classes, but yeah. So that's it. That's it for the Essence Laboratory. And then there is only one more thing, which is basically the card collection. I'm going to be making a separate video for this, I think, because it might be a little bit complicated to include it here as well. But basically, you should know that there are going to be events where you can collect the cards, and then you can activate those cards and upgrade them to give like boost to all of your characters. So those are the main ways you're going to be increasing your power. And to be honest, the biggest increase you're going to be getting from these cards, because look at this. When I go into my deck and I go to my current bonus, so all of my characters are getting 141k HP, almost 20,000 attack, and other stats, and this is only from this one deck, and I have multiple decks and they all apply. So the biggest power boost you're going to be getting from your characters is going to be from these decks. So once this gets unlocked for you, you should start collecting them as rapidly as you can. This is really important. So yeah, the cards give you the biggest boost. Then I would say possibly Essence Laboratory is very good for the whole teams, and the Limiter Breakthrough is very strong. But for specific characters, the chips are extremely important. The biggest source of power, Machine Core is pretty decent. It's better than Gear. It's not better than Limiter Breakthrough. So the most power you get from chips here, then from Limiter Breakthrough, then you get them from the decks. I guess decks are even better than the Limiter Breakthroughs, especially unless you can stag the Limiter Breakthroughs to higher levels. So yeah, those are the main sources of power, and that's how you basically upgrade your team to be able to clear a lot of the harder content. So that's what you need to focus on, and in the next video I might talk more about how you can obtain those things, or I'll see what will be next in the series. But yeah, this is I wanted to show you what matters the most, and that you don't really focus too much on gear. Maybe you forget about other stuff, and then you're like, why am I so weak or limited? And it's because you haven't really taken the chips which give the most power, or the Machine Core, or you haven't done any cards which you really should do, or upgraded the Essence Laboratory, which gives a huge boost for the whole team as together with the collection cards. So I'm sorry if I've been repeating myself multiple times, but there's really tons of things in this game, and it's not really it's not really easy to remember all of it. So yeah, I just wanted to to ingrain it, I guess, in your brains, guys. And yeah, thank you for watching the video as always. We'll continue from here in the next one. Have a great day.